20th anniversary of the Peoria Civic Center. 19 million people, world-class entertainers, fabulous Broadway tours, exciting sporting events, trade shows and exhibits, and millions of dollars brought to our community. Peoria Civic Center, the place to be since 1982. Thanks for the memories.
I don't know if many people realize that before the Civic Center Commission was formed, there was another committee. And there were about 5 or 6 people from the Peoria area that got together and they wanted a civic center, and that was way back in the 50s. And one of the people that worked on the theater was Elizabeth Belke. So my hat goes off to Elizabeth because she really was the one that kind of got things started.
Well, I can go ahead with the Downtown Development Council. That was formed in the late 60s to really promote the downtown plan, which turned out to be the Angelos Demetriou plan. In that downtown, we raised $150,000 to give to the city to construct a downtown plan, which the city of Peoria did not have, which was leading to some rather strange decisions about where to put things.
And there was great excitement on the night of, I believe it was August 31st, 1976, when the City Council passed the tax package that for the first time made the Civic Center a reality.
It was 20 years ago today. Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play.
Hi, I'm Kenny Rogers. Happy birthday to the Peoria Civic Center. I was here actually 20 years ago, and it's nice to be back.
One of the first things we had to do, obviously, was to clear land to have the Civic Center. And the old Jefferson Hotel was slated to have an implosion. And so early on that Sunday morning, all of the commission members and people really interested in this building and the architects and construction people, we all went down to what is now the First Bank in Peoria, and we watched the implosion. And that was the most exciting thing because it was so fast, and we knew that we were on our way having our Civic Center.
The only unfortunate part about the location of the Civic Center here is that my office was right there where the South Basket is here in the arena because Illinois Mutual had about 150 feet of frontage on Jefferson Street and about 200 feet of frontage on Liberty Street, and all of that was to be gone.
The hero, I think, of those days was Lou Berger. He was the chairman of the Civic Center Commission, and he really overcame lots of obstacles.
Had it gone to a referendum, the chances are we wouldn't have had a Civic Center today, but it is there, and the impact that that has had on this community it's just hard to describe. When you think of what the downtown used to look like and what it is today, I think you can just say that it's been the catalyst for everything good that's happened in downtown.
The stage is a world of entertainment.
Hey, this is the larger-than-life living legend of the World Wrestling Federation, Chris Jericho, the very first undisputed champion in history, wishing the Peoria Civic Center a happy 20th birthday.
Lou Berger played a very important role as chairman because he used his vast business experience, especially his construction experience, to help bring the Civic Center into a realm where it could be actually built with the dollars that we had.
It's hard for me to imagine, as a citizen of Peoria, now as mayor of Peoria, what this community would be like without the Civic Center. And whether you like Worldwide Federation Wrestling, or you like the symphony, or you like the rodeo, we have something for everyone. And we get like 1 million visitors a year. And over the years, we were able to put together a plan and get it to actually break even operationally. I think everybody that was involved, that should be very proud of it.
You know, at the time, you're dedicated to doing a job, to doing the best job you can do as a volunteer. And I don't think it is as meaningful at the time as it is years later when the fruits of your labor come to fruition.
One of my favorite performers was Pearl Bailey. We did a Pops concert to start our 90th season with her. Pearl, for some reason, couldn't wear contacts and was too vain to wear glasses. Consequently, she was very, very blind. And the way the evening took place was that the symphony had the stage for the first half of the concert. We played without her. And then the second half, she was on stage, and her husband, Louis Belson, the great drummer, led the orchestra from the drum set, which was set up on an elevated platform, front and center, where all the players could see and follow him. Well, for that part of the program, the second half, I wasn't conducting. I went back into the arena, which is where the concert was held, with Jeff Chelsvig, and listened. And it was all over, and hovering always around the stage was our stage crew manager, a guy named Dwight Jones, who always, as our current manager does, wore a tux. And he was helping Pearl on and off the stage, help which she needed because of her vision. And at one point, she'd taken her bows, and she decided that she wanted to acknowledge her partners in the program, the symphony, and that the way to do it would be to bring me out and have me take a bow. So she went over and, I guess, dimly perceived that this guy in a tuxedo was me, and she brought the stage manager up to the center of the stage and addressed him as Dr. Wilson and thanked him for his wonderful conducting and ensured that he took many bows. I got a big kick out of that, watching that from the back of the hall.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.
Hello, I'm Manny Jackson, the owner of the Harlem Globetrotters. We're celebrating our 75th anniversary. I want to say happy birthday, Peoria Civic Center.
There are so many productions that I've enjoyed over the years, several of which really stand out for a variety of reasons. One is Scott Hamilton's skating in the arena, Crazy for You, Broadway Theater League, the Gershwin compilation was one that I particularly enjoyed, symphony season tickets. So it was fun to follow up the early involvement with being able to continue to participate as a goer to a lot of the events at the Civic Center.
Over the last 20 years, we're just a hair short of the winning percentage that we had at Robertson Memorial Fieldhouse, and a couple of three-point shots, and we'll be right back there. The rest of the facility is important to Bradley as well. We've celebrated a lot of special events among the theater facilities as well as the convention capabilities. And not least among those would be celebration of our centennial and recognition of the great support of the community. We think that's what this facility is all about. Peoria, the greater Peoria area, and our community. So when you think of Bradley and the Civic Center, it goes way beyond men's basketball. It really goes to the heart and one of the points of pride of our community, and that's the Peoria Civic Center. We're happy to be a part of it, and congratulations to everyone who's made it the success that it is.
At 3 o'clock that afternoon, we received word, as did the rest of the state, the word that really made the front page of the Tribune and, of course, the Journal-Star, that Peoria was going to host the state tournament. And looking out in the chambers at so many past council members about how really tough, courageous decisions were made by those folks to allow us here 15 years later to get the tournament. And I remember Dick Newmiller, who is one of my mentors, came up to me afterwards. I don't know if Dick would remember this, but said, we built it and now you're filling it, good job. And really our part was the easy part. That council that voted to put this in had even greater vision than we did.
And with my friend Sharon Young, who had been with the Broadway Theater League, we were able then through the next 20 years to book and sell the Broadway shows. Obviously we had a lot of help with a lot of friends and marketing and everything else here, but that's been one of the loves that we've both been able to work on. And everything from the first time we had a multi-day show over 2 days, which was actually probably the longest one was 1991 when we brought Les Mis in for the first time. And it was that relationship with that agency that then eventually evolved into being able to bring Phantom of the Opera here in the year 2002, which we think has been a real special situation altogether.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are.
Hello. I'm Nancy Wilson, wishing the Peoria Civic Center a happy birthday. Congratulations on 20 swinging years.
It's hard to imagine a city this size ever having things like Phantom of the Opera. I mean, what a spectacular thing for this community. And all of the economic benefit that we get from the Civic Center, all of the shows that it brings in, all of the conventions it brings in, all of the things that we do here that not only add to the quality of life of our community, but really add to the economic activity in the community and make this a destination for people and make it a place that people really want to live. So I'm certainly proud of the Civic Center and can't imagine the city without it.
We were constantly looking for different kinds of programming that would say to the entire community, the Civic Center is a place for everyone. And it has grown to be that.
Not just an economic, but a quality of life incentive for the community that is recognized throughout the state, certainly, and throughout the region as a very important reason to want to work here and live here and raise families here.
We have come a long ways, and Peoria is just as competitive as any other community.
A lot of fun. Harold Hansen, Bob Glazebrook, Don Welch, Debbie Ritchell. You know, we've all worked through at one time or another some challenges. That's all part of the equation, working together to make it a better opportunity for everyone.
I think a lot of people were fearful that the Civic Center would be a white elephant, so I'm glad to know the economic impact that the Civic Center has had on the community and its huge success.
You know, this facility justifies itself just on what it replaced. You know, just strictly on a bricks and mortar standpoint.
Peoria really needed it badly. Can you imagine what it'd be like to live in Peoria without the Civic Center today?
The interesting thing, it was about maybe 12 years after I had been here 12 years, I realized that there was starting to be a whole generation that had never known Peoria without the Civic Center.
What a great contribution to Peoria. 20 years, I think it's only the beginning.
One stubborn person can pull a whole bunch of people together. So it's been a wonderful thing for our community.
We're happy we did it. I know you are, and the community is. People, even those who I knew were opposed, would see me over the years and say, where would we be without it? And the answer is, I have no idea.